Okay, so we started off asking the question on Memam and Bays, whether if you start fasting on Friday, can you finish the fast into Shabbos? So, Amar Rava Nechzei Ano, Tanya, Tisha B'Av shechal lios b'Shabbos. If Tisha falls on Shabbos, V'chein Erev Tisha B'Av shechal lios b'Shabbos. And if Erev Tisha B'Av is on Shabbos, so you can't fast. Oichel v'shoyse kol tzorcho. Umala shulchan afilu kesuda shlomo b'shato. You can eat even like Shlomo Melech. Chalios Tisha B'Av be'erev Shabbos. Today in our calendar, it can't happen. But at the time where they were doing the new month based on Eidim, Tisha B'Av could fall on Friday. So Chalios Tisha B'Av be'erev Shabbos mevin lo kabetza v'oichel. You don't fast all the way into Shabbos. You bring him an egg. So you don't enter Shabbos fasting. So a raya from here that you're not mashlim a fast on Friday. We were sitting with Rabbi Akiva. Tisha B'Av shechal lios be'erev Shabbos. Tisha B'Av was Friday. They brought him an egg, ugama below melech, and he ate it without salt. Not because he wanted it. That you don't go into Shabbos fasting, you should break your fast before Shabbos. However, Rabbi Yosi he disagreed that you're allowed to fast into Shabbos. If you accepted a fast, it goes into Shabbos. Don't you agree that if Tisha B'Av falls on Sunday, that you stop fasting? No, Rabbi Yossi said to them that when Tisha B'Av falls Saturday night, you start fasting already when it's still Shabbos. So you see, you can fast in Shabbos. They said, we agree. Amar lahem, mali likonis ba keshu me'una, mali latzes v'mena keshu me'una. So what's make a difference if you go into fasting, into Shabbos fasting, or you start the fast on Shabbos? They both should be the same. Amar loim amrit latzes v'mena. No, it's different. Leaving Shabbos and starting a fast, he's already eaten the whole day. But to start Shabbos fasting, that's not appropriate. Allah is like Rabbi Yosi, where you can be mis'aneh and mashlim even into Shabbos if you fast on Friday.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Shabbos, it's the different halachas completely on Shabbos. So going to Shabbos to fast on Shabbos itself.
We're talking about you're fasting Friday.
Yeah, but we have
and the fast extends.
Asara b'tevet, you have that.
Right, exactly. And the din is you don't break your fast before Shabbos. You fast until Kiddush.
Right.
That's because we paskin like Rabbi Yossi in this argument against Rabbi Akiva. According to Rabbi Akiva, Walter, before Shabbos came in, you would already break your fast because you're not allowed to enter Shabbos fasting. That's called masinin umeshalmin. We paskin like Rabbi Yossi that you're allowed to do so.
Yeah, but it's funny. It only works out for one for Nasara B'Teva.
I know, but
never works.
But you see it in the time of Chazal. Tisha B'Av fell on Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. You have Din and Rabbi Yossi. Is it true that we paskin like Rabbi Yossi Verminu? Ein goizrin tanis alat tzibur b'rosh chadoshim, Chanukah, uva Purim. Let's say that Tzibur, there's no rain, or there's another tzara, and they want to be goyzer a tainus. You can't do a tainus on Rosh Chodesh, not on Chanukah, not on Purim. However, im yischilu ein mafsikin divrei Gamliel. Let's say there was a series of fasts, Monday, Thursday, Monday, because that's how they used to do it. And let's say Chanukah or Purim fell on one of these Monday, Thursday, Monday, then once you start a series of fasts, you can fast. You can't lechatchila goizer a tainus on those days, but if it's part of a seder and happens to land, then you can. That's Rabbi Gamliel. Rab Meir, Afal Pisham Rabbi Gamliel ein mafsikin. Even though he said that if you started a seder of tainus, you continue it on Chanukah and Purim. However, moida hayah she'ein mashlimin. You don't mashlim a tanis on that day. It means you wouldn't fast the whole day. V'chein, he held the same thing by B'Tisha B'Av Shchayos B'Erev Shabbos. You don't go into the yontif or into the fast in a state of tainus. Therefore, in Tisha B'Av fell on Friday, you could also break your fast before Shabbos. And that's how Rab Gamliel passed. V'tanya, la'achar p'tiras of Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, nichlas Rabbi Yoshua la'aferes dvarav. Rabbi Yoshua wanted to go against Rabbi Gamliel. Omar Rav Yechon ben Uriel Ragav Amar Chazi Ana the Basar Reisha Gufa Azil. We, the body, should follow the head. And since Kol Yom Rabbi Gamliel Kavan Halacha Kamoso, we passed it like Rabbi Gamliel all these years. Achshav Atam Mevakesh Levatel Dvara. Now you want to mevatel what he said? Yehoshua Ein Shonim Lecha. We're not going to listen to you. Shekvar Nikba Halacha Rabbi Gamliel. Nobody complained. In the generation of Gamliel, they did like Rabbi Gamliel. That ein mashlimim, they would break their fast before Shabbos. However, b'dorish Rabbi Yossi, avik Rabbi Yossi, where they would be mashlim the fast even into Shabbos. Frank the Gemara, b'dorish Rabbi Gamliel, avik Rabbi Gamliel. Vatanya, I'll show you not so. Amar Abazar ben Sadek. I was a certain Shevet from Binyamin that they had the lottery to bring the Korban Eitzim on the 10th day of Av. And they had a personal yontiv. They had a personal yontiv because they were given that Korban. And Pamachas Chal Tisha B'Av Yos b'Shabbos. Tisha B'Av was a Shabbos, so it was a Nidche Utchinu Lachra Shabbos. So Tisha B'Av that year was commemorated on the 10th of Av on Sunday. But that was our family yontif. However, Hisaninu Bo V'Lo Ishlamnu. We fasted, we didn't finish. Mibnei Sheyontiv Shalanu Haya. It was a personal yontif, time of the yontif. And that's why they were not mashlim. Erev Yontiv, implying that if it was Erev Yontiv, like Erev Shabbos, ain't mashlimin. This was a rabbinic fast. Rabbinic fast, you can fast based on hours. You can start in the morning. You can fast only part of the day, like we do Tzom Gedalia, or even Aseres B'Teves, or Shiva B'Tamuz. So there, Mashlimim Bo Arvios. So there, you have to be Mashlim until nightfall. Otherwise, there's no fast. Shabbos, Hoil V'Emisanim Bo Shos, Mashlimim Bo Arvios. But when it comes to entering into Shabbos, we're not Mashlim it. On Rav Yosef. We paskin that we're allowed to be Mashlim. That if you fast on Friday, you can go into Shabbos. Rav Yosef, Rav Yosef says, I never heard this sugya. Now remember, Rav Yosef had gotten sick and forgot a lot of his learning. So Abaye reminded Rav Yosef, what do you mean, Amrit Ni'alan? You told us this sugya. How Amrit Ni'alan? This is what you said. In Goizrin Tanis Alat Tzibur, Rosh Chadoshim. You don't Goizr Tanis on the Tzibur, either Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, or Purim. I mean, in Allah, and we said on that honor, Vidam Rav, Zudi Rab Meir, Shamar Mishur Al Gamliel. You can fast into Shabbos. And my lava kulu, it's going on Chanukah, Purim, and Erev Shabbos. Mar says, no, Chanukah, Purim. Only Chanukah, Purim, not Erev Shabbos. They didn't agree about Shabbos. That makes sense. If you're going to say it's Erev Shabbos as well, what do you mean? Rabbah asked Rav Yehuda directly this question. He didn't answer it. So must be, we don't know the halacha there. Rav Yehuda said the halacha is that if you fast on Friday, you can go into Shabbos. But I thought you said, so it depends. He, prior to hearing this halacha, that it was paskin like a certain way, so he didn't know what the halacha was. He knows the halacha. He can finish the fast going into Shabbos. Hadran Allah b'chol ma'arvin. Hadran Allah b'kol ma'arvin. Hadran Allah b'kol ma'arvin. New perek mem aleph. By the way, I suggest that we learn Sunday night, Motzei Rosh Hashanah, maybe at 8:30.
Yeah, that could work. 8:30. Yeah.
Yeah, 8:30 Sunday night, and that way we won't fall behind because, well, Sunday night we're going to do Sunday's blot. We're usually a blot ahead. Like today, this is tomorrow's blot. So we won't really be behind if we learn Sunday night. And then we'll have to catch up, try to get ahead again in one of the future blotting.
And no Navi Shir then.
Say it again?
No Navi Shir on Sunday.
No, I think we're going to try to do it Monday night.
Okay.
I think I'll send out a message. We'll
Monday night is doch after the also it's after the fast, huh? So okay.
But we can eat during the Shir.
Yeah, it's Ernie. Okay, you want to why? I don't know.
Well, we'll think of okay, because let me see. There's a problem because the next week is Yom Kippur. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you'll have to do two that,
No.
but you can't make the oil.
Kippur is Wednesday,
It's
right?
very late, and the Navi Shir people are, Navi Shir, Daf Yomi Shir afterwards. It's a lot.
Right. Okay.
I know you've got the koyach, but us older.
No. Maybe we'll take a break from the. But I think next Sunday night we can learn because when is Yom Kippur?
Next Sunday night. Next Sunday night.
Can't learn. Yeah, it's Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
Then afterwards the Sukkot. I mean, the Navi Shir will just have to take a.
We'll have to double up somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. No problem. Mishnah.
Walter, are you in Pebble Beach? Where are you?
You're jealous?
Yes.
I'm
That's
having
good.
a nice time. I'm social distance.
Misha Hoitziu Nochrim or Ruach Ra. So remember, if you're at the end of your 2,000 amas and you take one step beyond there, so now you're in prison. You cannot walk more than Daled amas. Once you're beyond your tchum, you're stuck. So let's say though you were in your tchum, but goyim schlepped you out of the tchum. So it was against your will, or ruach ra. You became a meshiganet all of a sudden. And you find yourself outside the tchum. Now you want to go back. You can't. Ein lo ela arba amos. You cannot go more than arba amos. Now, if the Gentiles bring you back within the tchum, ki'ilu lo yotza. Or let's say because of your meshigas, you had a a psychedelic hallucination, and you wandered back into the tchum, also you get your original tchum back. Now, let's say the Gentiles removed you from your tchum, but nisanu but your basar, they put you in a corral, which is l'chora it's surrounded by walls. So the question is, when you're put into a Rishus HaYachid, do you get the full extent of that Rishus HaYachid, even beyond the Arba Amos, or no, you're stuck only being moved Arba Amos because you have this situation that you're outside of your Tchum. So Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah oimrim, Mahalech es kula, if you were deposited outside of your tchum into the Houston Astrodome, you can walk everywhere in the Houston Astrodome, even though it's 2,000 amas probably by itself, or whatever, 500 amas. Rabbi Yoshev, Rabbi Kiva, ein lo la'arba amas. Even if you're deposited in a Rishus HaYachid, you're stuck, you cannot go more than arba amas. Ma'isa Shabomi Plandresin, they came from Plandresin by boat. V'ifligas finosam bayam. And they were coming close to the shore and coming into the harbor. So Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah hilchu es kula. They walked everywhere in the boat. And even though the boat is going to travel beyond the tchum, it's as if you were deposited outside the tchum into a corral, like we said, and the Rabbi Gamliel held you could walk anywhere in the corral. So they treated the boat the same way. However, Rabbi Yeshua Rabbi Kiva lo zazum arba amos. They did not move more than arba amos. However, the Mishnah says sherotzu lahachmar latzman. They wanted to be machmir. That means maybe meikra din, that you could be more lenient. So the din is Shulchan Aruch paskins that if you're deposited in a Rishus HaYachid, you can go everywhere where you've been deposited, like Rabbi Gamliel. That's if you were taken by Goyim. But if you walked by yourself somewhere else, you only have Arba Amos, even if you were put into a Rishus HaYachid. The Rambam, the Ramban, and the Ran are Machmir, but there are those that are Matir, even if you did it yourself, the Tosfos and the Rashba. They did not enter the port until Shabbos. Can we leave the boat and go to the city, even though it's chutz l'tchum? You're permitted to leave the boat. We arrived within our tchum prior to Shabbos, so there's no problem with guarding tchum. By the way, the din is, if you're on a boat and the boat has traveled beyond the tchum, you're allowed to walk anywhere in the boat. We paskin like Rabbi Gamliel. Torah Rabbanan.
Why would you think that you would not be able to? The boat itself. The boat itself. Why would you ever have them? The boat itself is a bite b'fnei atzmo. So why would?
Well, again, let's say you start off Erev Shabbos. Let's say your tchum was where the port of the boat is. Now, right. When the boat travels beyond 2,000 amas, you're outside of your tchum. So then our Mishnah just dealt with this question. If Goyim take you outside of your tchum,
right, then you're allowed to go. I understand. I hear what you're saying. But why Why wouldn't a
Rabbi
goyim?
Akiva held, even if they deposited you in a Rishus HaYachid, you only have Daled Amas. So the Sfina is like a Rishus HaYachid. Maybe you only have Daled Amas.
Yeah, what you say.
But we posket like Rav Gamliel that if you're deposited in the Houston Astrodome, you can walk anywhere in the Houston Astrodome. You're not stuck within the 4 hours. So the boat, even though it's beyond the Tchum, it's considered like you're in a Rishus HaYachid. You can walk everywhere there. Exactly our case of the mission. There are 3 things where a person is like not in control of his faculties, and it causes him to change his mind and even against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Avdei Kochavim, interacting with non-Jews. Ruach Ra, having like a Michiganist spirit descend upon you. And V'digduke Aniyus, suffering extreme poverty, makes you do things you don't want to do. Lamai nafkamina, why do we need to know this? We have to daven for such people. People have to deal with goyim too much, or people have ruach ra, or someone who's very poor. We should know you have to daven for him. Shlosha ein roin pnei Gehenim. 3 kinds of people will never see Gehenim. You know why? Because their lives on this world are so full of sorrow and pain that they don't need to go to Gehenim. Elu hein digduge aniyos, people who suffer poverty and have to go door to door, whatever they have to do as an ani. Choyle me'ayin, people who suffer from intestinal illness. Ve'haroshus, people have a lot of people have a lot of creditors. People are chasing them for money. Some people say if you have a difficult wife, that's like Gehenim.
So a lot of people got a lot of chances here.
The Idich, so how come the other person says doesn't include it?
Walter, be careful. This is recorded.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind. I didn't say who.
So how come the other Tana doesn't include Isha Ra? Because Isha Ra, mitzvah l'garsha. You're supposed to divorce an Isha Ra. So you kept her, so it's on your head. How come the one mentions Isha? Because Zimnin de Ksubasa Maruba, you have such a big payout in her Ksuba that you really, for all practical purposes, can't divorce her. Or Inami Eslebani Mina, or they have children and for family life they want to stay together.
It's amazing, nothing changed.
Right? Same stories here. Now, why do we need to know this? So, that means if you have these things, you should accept these Yisurim Ba'ava, because in a sense, it's pottering you from Gehenim. Loisha Mason Kishen Mesaprin. Three people that can mamish fall dead while you're talking to them. Means you're having a conversation with them, and the plot's sudden death. Choyle me'ayin, people with intestinal illness. Chaya, that's a woman who's just given birth. The hidrukin, we always have been some kind of, it makes you yellow. They're not sure exactly what that is. By the way, Rashi says, choyle apeh, you have bad breath.
The bad breath can kill you.
What's going on here? It's some kind of illness that we don't know what it is that causes.
They call it dropsy. Some say it's dropsy. Ever hear of dropsy?
But dropsy is epilepsy.
Oh.
Dropsy was an old term
Oh, I didn't know
People-
that. Okay.
People used to drop
Ah.
suddenly. I don't think they know what hudra. We've had this before. I don't think the
He says
sure what it
he
is.
said they translated one who is sick with edema, edema, E-D-E-M-A,
Edema.
edema. What is it?
Excess fluid. Excess
Edema.
fluid that gathers in your legs and.
That's what he says it is here. It's the official
Yeah, I see.
translation.
Feinfeld says machla goremes litstavut mayim yeter maguf.
Yeah,
Causes excess
hydrocan.
fluid.
Yeah, hydrocan. He says.
The problem with that, Walter, is there are a number of illnesses that cause that. So, for example, congestive heart failure. You end up with significant edema. Same thing, liver failure, because you don't produce enough oncotic pressure. People with nephrotic syndrome, where they lose a lot of protein in their urine, and that the extracellular fluid, the intravascular fluid can't hold on.
Listen, a lot of people have water around the heart also as they get older. Also, there's
Water
fluid.
on the heart is pericarditis. That's something else. That's inflammation of the pericardium. But a general edematous disorder, like they're describing, has different causes. I just mentioned 3: congestive heart failure, liver failure, nephrotic syndrome. 3 different, they one have nothing to do with each other. People with nephrotic syndrome have certain kidney disease cause them to lose protein. People with liver failure can have liver failure for many reasons: cirrhosis, hepatitis, etc. Congestive heart failure, of course, congestive heart failure. But I don't think here they think hydroikin is generalized edema, but which specific disease it is, it's not sure. Now, why do we need to know that with these 3 types, they can drop dead? So the Gemara says, you have to prepare tachrichin for him, because you never know. Now, let's say he left the Tchum. Not that he was taken by Gentiles forcibly. If he voluntarily left, then nothing is, he can't go more than Dal Damas. Pshita, of course, that's the halacha. So we say, the Mishnah said that if Nachrim take you out, you also only have Arba Amos. But boy, if you did it b'mezid, certainly you'd only have Arba Amos. So our question is something else. Ela chazer ladas. The Gentiles took you out, but you came back on your own. Because the Mishnah said, if the Gentiles bring you back, then you can go back to your regular Tchum. But if you wander back, that doesn't help you. Ein lo ela arba amos. So Gemara says, Anami Tanina. So we learn this as well. As Ziru Nachrim, if the Nachrim took you back, Hi'ilu lo yatsa, which we will be medayek to learn, Ziru hu, if he went back himself, Kili lo yatsa. But if he came back on his own, he only has arba amos. You have to learn, yatsa ladas, he went out on his own, and Goyim brought him back, ein lo arba amos. Then he only has arba amos. Hanami tanina. Hotzi'u v'achziru, if they took him out and they brought him back, the Goyim, ki'ilu lo yotza, as if he never left. Hotzi'u, if they took him out, v'achziruhu, they took him out and they took him back, ki'ilu lo yotza. Aval yotza ladas lo. But if he went on his own, none of these work. Ma'od sema, litzadim ketani, meaning, mi shotzi'u nachrim, Goyim took him out for Chazar Ladas, he walked in by his own, ein lo arba amos. Aval yotza ladas, but if he walked out on his own, that's zir nachrim, maybe kilo lo yotza, kamash malan, that no. If he came back ladas, or if he went out ladas and they brought him back, it's you only get dalad amos. Boy minei mirabba, hutzrich l'nekav of ma'u. What if he needs to go to he's at the end of his tchum, and the only bathroom is outside of the tchum? Is he stuck? What is he supposed to do? Amar lahem, gadol kavod abriya shedoichas lo sasher b'torah. Human dignity violates any lav in the Torah. Now, it's not a lav of Doraisa. Remember, the dinim of Tchum are all rabbinic. So the one law that Kavod Abrius is doiche is the law of Lo Sosr Yaminu Smol, which is the basis for all rabbinic law. So that's an important important principle. Then Ardoi said, listen, if you happen to be stuck outside of your tchum and you have to go to the bathroom, you know what? Find a bathroom inside of the tchum, and because you have a reason to go back, and kevin da'al, and once you went back in, you have your tchum again. And that's the psak of the Shulchan Aruch. Amrav Papa, Perish Yotzu Chutz L'Tchum. Up until now, we've been talking about a person's physical body. What about his possessions, like fruit? Perish Yotzu Chutz L'Tchum Chazru, and they came back within the Tchum. Afilu b'mezid, even if there was done b'mezid, lo yifsidus makom. You can carry that fruit anywhere within the Tchum. My time, anusim ninu. Listen, fruit don't have a das. They can't move. So it was all done against their will anyway. So we don't make the inanimate objects suffer. If they were brought back b'shogeg, then you could take them everywhere, but otherwise you can't. B'shogeg give b'mezid lo. So the Gemara says this is a tanoi. This is machlokes tanoi. The Tanya perish yatzu chutz l'tchum b'shogeg yachlu b'mezid lo yachlu, because you can't touch them. And the Gemara will go on to explain this machlokes. Okay, vinshun to everybody. Agit geben shtur. Shana tova tikatemu v'tekatemu la'altu l'chaim tovim l'shalom.
Amen.
Amen.
Sunday,